Okay, welcome back to part two. Here we are on this beautiful winter scene. I'm looking forward to painting this. Now, I have been very sick lately, very ill with, I just had surgery on my ear, and I had a lot of infection there, so I was in and out of hospital, that kind of thing. So I haven't had a chance to finish this sooner. I wish I had, but I hadn't. I was quite sick. I still kind of am, I'll be honest. But I'm eager to get this finished. I'm just really looking forward to finishing this because it's just turning out so lovely. And right, let's get started. I'm just checking my colours here now. This is the same palette I've had in part one. And let me see now. I need some Naples yellow. And I'm working here now out in the studio, okay? Because there's a lot going on in the kitchen at the moment. With people calling and guests and all that kind of stuff, so I've moved my stuff back out into the into the studio here. I hope you don't mind. Right, now I have fresh turpentine. I will tell you what colours I have again, just to remind you, okay? I have titanium white, phthalo blue, some Naples yellow, some cadmium yellow, a little burnt sienna. I won't need much of that. Some crimson, some burnt umber, some cobalt blue, which I haven't used yet. I don't think I will, to be quite honest. Some black and some cadmium red. Also, I haven't used that yet either. So yeah, I just had them there in case I wanted to use them. Do you know what I mean? Now let me put some fresh white out on my palette and let's get cracking with this. I'm looking forward to finishing this picture here. Now, so we came down here and we came down as far as some of our shadows here. Now we will work more on these, okay? Not to worry. But I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to fill in the rest of this all the way down, right? And I'm going to put, I'm thinking, just a nice, cool colour that I can put some brighter colours through. So something similar to what we have here, okay? I might bring this kind of down and darken this yellow as it comes down a bit. So I'm thinking, I'll make a slightly mauve kind of a colour. So I'm thinking maybe first we go with some white anyway, okay? Let's take a good dollop of white and let's take some phthalo blue, and that's very rich. It goes very rich very quickly, the phthalo blue, okay? Let's take a hint of crimson into that. Now I painted part one about 4 days ago and my paints are still fairly wet. These ones here, this is dry, but these paints are still fairly wet on my palette, and that's what I love about painting with oils. You could just leave it, walk away and come back to it then another time. That's what I just love about painting with oil paints. It just gives you that freedom. There's no pressure to have it done quickly. You can just relax, take your time, go at your own pace. And like, if something comes up and you have to dash out the front door, you can do that, knowing that you can come back and go right back into it again, and it'll still be wet. It's just fantastic for that kind of that reason. That's why I love painting with oil so much. Now I'm just going to lighten that with a bit of white, just slightly up into the whitey yellowy colour there, okay? Just very lightly, here and there. It's kind of a hit and miss sort of a thing, you see? Just to kind of help blend it up very slightly. Now, beg your pardon. And let's come down here now again. I'm thinking that colour now, pretty much that colour coming down. So some white, some phthalo blue, and a little crimson. I may warm this slightly with some cadmium red later. I'm not sure yet, because the cadmium red will just give me that kind of a warmer, wintry type of a feeling that I want just for this painting. Normally I would be kind of on the crimson side, but I think a little bit of the cadmium red would help with this. Now it's going to be tricky down here trying to create this sort of impression that you can see on the photograph, the impression of the snow kind of and footprints and very rough kind of snow. That will take a little bit of time, and it's something that I'm going to just try as I go along, basically. You know, it's not something that I would kind of paint a lot of the time, so it's going to be fun. Let's just say that, okay? It's going to be interesting and fun. I'll say that to you. Right, coming down now with that colour, keep coming down, and I keep adding little hints of turpentine into this now just to help it flow across, that's all. Alright? because we're going to be putting lots of thick white on top of this in a moment. That kind of highlight colour. Alright, now that's actually quite a nice colour. What I might do is I might take a small flat brush and use some of that colour and go over some of these colours up here, because I find they're a little bit on the dark side. And you may find that from time to time as your paints dry, as your oil paints dry in, they can get slightly darker, just a hint. So I think now I'm going to make up a nice thick mix of this. So some titanium white with a little touch of thinners in that, some phthalo blue and a little crimson. But that's quite a nice colour now, I have to say. I like that colour. And I might go over some of these with that colour, okay? Now it's fairly dry up here. This is all kind of dry, more or less. So I'm just going to put it on like this and kind of drag my finger across it then like that, okay? That's probably the easiest way. And I'll go up again. Just adding little hints of it. It's very, very kind of dry now, my brush, okay? I'm allowing the paint to kind of just scrape off onto the canvas. And drag it across again. And I may darken them a little bit, but not too much really, to be honest. Little bits here and there, off in the distance. Okay, there we go. A little bit around the place, just down here. Now, let me just zoom back now and just take a quick look at that. Yes, that's not bad. Not too bad. We'll work more on this now as we go. We can add more little bits here and there. So what I want to do now is, I want to just put a reference line here for my posts, because I can see posts there. And I'm just going to take a hint of black, just a tiny, tiny hint of black. I just want to put a little line here, just to show where my fence posts are kind of coming into the shot, into the photograph. So you can see, just so I know where to go with my lines. And okay, we have more. Let's put some more dark lines. Just here and there, okay, just to show where the walkway is kind of coming down, like so, okay. Now, that's fine. So I'm going to start darkening some of this here now down at the bottom, okay. So I'm taking my medium stubby brush, some phthalo blue, and I'm going to try some cadmium red this time. And I'm going to hit that with some black as well, a little bit of black, no, not too much. I don't want to overpower the painting. If you find you have too much on your brush, just rub it on your tissue, just to take some of it off. Okay, now it's a little bit kind of on the cold side. I might add a hint more of the red. Let me try this, okay? Okay, let's go, and let's just go for it. Okay, still a little bit on the grey side for me. A little bit more cadmium red, I'm thinking. And let's just darken this right in there now. Let's just drag this. It's a very dry mixture on the brush, okay? I'm just going to drag a hint of that here and there across the picture. Let's add a little bit more blue. It's just to create that kind of rough textured sort of a feeling, that's all. Alright, there we go. And they're slightly annoying me now up there. I'm going to take a little hint of black with that blue, and I'm going to just slightly darken one or two of those just again, okay? Because I feel they're a little bit too light. There. Okay, I think that's better. Excuse me. Now, let's come down now and start adding some brightness to some of this down here. And I'm going to clean my small flat brush. And when I zoom in for this, I think I should just zoom in very, very slightly. let me just see if I can see the camera here now and bring it down a little. I do apologise. I don't have the best equipment to hand. Right, let's take my small flat brush and I'm going to mix some of the lighter colour. So let's go with some white, and I'm going to take a hint of Naples yellow. Okay, little hint of that, and then I'm going to go with some cadmium red, just a little tiny hint of cadmium red, alright, the tiniest little amount. Now that's a nice bright colour there. It's a nice sunny, whitey kind of a colour, and I'm just going to start adding some of that to create the footpath here, okay? Well, it's not a footpath, it's just a lot of rough ground where people were walking through. So you can see there's little hints of colour here and there. That's just going to show the outline of the path, okay? That's all. Okay, let's go up here and bring this right across. And at the same time now, I'm going to try and kind of simplify this as well, for those of you who are kind of just beginning, and bearing in mind the aim of this channel really is to kind of help the beginners out there, the people who are kind of struggling to get to grips with oil paints. So the point of this channel really is for those beginners and even amateurs as well, you know, people who are kind of really getting into the oils, just to show you how to simplify a scene basically, and just take the main elements from a scene and incorporate those elements into your painting. That's my aim here. That's my goal. Just to help you simplify all of this, because I know I was a beginner as well once and starting out it's very, very difficult, because you look at a painting and you think, oh my god, there's just so much to do, there's so much going on, and it can be very daunting for a beginner. So I thought, right, how could I create a channel to help simplify all of this? And this is what I'm trying to do. I hope it's working. Please do tell me if you think it's working. If there's anything you think I can change, please do tell me as well, because I want to make it better for everyone. Alright, now, so we have a lot of light blue and dark blue going on down here. I'm going to just start creating some shapes. I'm just kind of looking out and picking out kind of shapes on the painting, okay? I'm just picking out what I can see. Well, let me get some more white on my palette. And this will just keep changing as it goes along. It'll keep evolving and keep changing. And sure, look, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Painting on this channel, it changes, everything changes as it goes along. That's the fun, I think. Let's go down here and give a couple of little bits of light catching down here and there. Okay. And then I'm going to add some more cadmium red to this with some more Naples yellow. And I'm going to make, it's kind of a more of a pinkish sort of a colour, because if you put a yellowy white over this blue here, it's going to end up going a kind of a greeny colour. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm just kind of adding a little bit of pink into the mix just to neutralise the chances of that happening. So I'm just going along now, just giving the brush kind of little wiggles as we go. Okay, and I suppose the whole point of it really is just to try to create these little ridges of snow. That's all. And look, try to keep it simple. I'm not going into huge amount of details with this now, because I just want to try and get the essence of the photograph, and I'm just trying to capture the mood. So it's kind of a late evening, the sun is settling in the sky, and we have these wonderful shadows being cast across the sky and across the snow. That's the kind of feeling I'm trying to catch with this painting. I hope it's working. You know, just let me know what you think. Now I've mixed another bit of that colour because I can see a lovely warmth up here. And I might thin out some of those shadows just there as well, okay? Just a little bit. You see? So you can go over some of your mistakes. You can thin little areas if you wish. And I'll add some of that nice warmth right along here. And I'll bring some across here. Okay, we're getting that nice kind of feeling, that nice soft kind of snowy feeling. I think it's coming along. I can feel it kind of coming into the painting. Now I'm going to mix a slightly darker colour for down here, okay? So clean the brush well, give it a wipe and clean it on some tissue. And let's take some phthalo blue and let's go for some crimson. And a little hint of white, just a little bit. I don't want to go too bright with this now, I want to keep it on the kind of dark side. Okay, and let's try that. Some crimson, some blue, some white, and a little turpentine as well. And let's try and go down here and let's try and just create the kind of walkway where you can see people have been kind of walking through the snow. Soften it in. Again, it's just a very loose impression. You know, if you were to go and try and fill in every single little detail, it would be here for hours and hours and hours. And I would normally sit here now for hours and hours and fill in every single little detail on this. But I don't have that much time and I just want to simplify everything, keep it nice and simple. And let's put another, it sort of softens in on the left hand side and almost disappears, doesn't it? I'm just going to flick it around like this. And remember, the fingers are the brilliant, our most important tool sometimes. Your fingers are brilliant. You can do a lot with your fingers, blending colours together, moving things around. Now let's mix a little bit of a darker colour. More phthalo, a hint of black and a hint of crimson, and I'm going to put that colour in down here. And I'll also add a little bit of that colour just along there like that. Okay, and put a little bit across there like that. And we'll make it a little bit darker just down inside there. Okay. That's another shadow we have going across. Now, I'm going to just quickly go over here by the fence panels, where we have to, these fences rather, and just put in a little light catching here and there just on that ridge, okay? And that will just show you the edge of where the fences are kind of starting there, you see? It's just a little suggestion, that's all. Now, so we have that done. I'm going to just add some more light now here and there up on top. I think I want to just brighten it that little bit and perhaps make it a little warmer. What do you think? Let's try some cadmium red. A tiny amount, with lots of Naples yellow and lots of white. And I just want to make that really warm, just up there. It is a really, well, let me see if the camera is still recording, it is. There's a really lovely warmth up there. It's just kind of, I'm going to flick it across here and there, okay, you see? There's a little bit of red now in this. And a little cadmium, not cadmium, Naples yellow, okay? I just really love that colour. It's a very warm, inviting kind of a colour. Some Naples yellow, some red, and lots of white, okay? Now, as it comes down to this blue here, I'm going to add some more red into this, so it's a lot more pinky now going forward, okay? Very pinky. There we are. And little bits along here again. And we have little bits hitting the snow here and there. Okay, and I'll take some nice dark colour, little bit of black, and I'm going to just darken just a little, just here and there, coming down like that. Okay, just a little bit there. Now I'm going to take the small brush, small pointy brush, and I'm going to take some real bright colours. So some of the white, some of this real bright colour that we just mixed earlier, okay? And I'm going to just add some of that here and there on the footpath, okay? Just up there. There's some light really kind of catching here and there. Nice thick paint on your brush. There we go. Just have a bit of fun, okay? That's all. That's what I'll say to you. Have some nice fun with this. It's all supposed to be fun. If you find yourself not having fun, then there's something wrong, isn't there? There we go. Let's just put a lot of that through. Run it through with your fingers. There we go. Just creating some nice little ridges here and there. Put a little hint of it just here and there like that. Now, let's get some darker colour. Let's mix some phthalo blue, some crimson, and a little black. And let's just put some of that darker colour in here and there. Just to suggest some shadows going along. Okay, here and there. You see, you don't have to show too much detail. You can just make a nice impression of a pathway kind of going along. You know, you don't have to worry too much about putting loads of detail into this. You really don't. You can focus on an impression. You say, well, I'm going to just make a nice impression of the scene. And, you know, let's not worry too much about details. Let's not get bogged down with details. Details will come another time. As time goes on, you will get more and more into details. Now, I want to create the lovely tree here going up. Okay, nice big tree. And I want to maybe add some to that as well. So I'm thinking I might add a little black, just black, to one or two of these trees here. Just to make them a little more pronounced. Isn't that what they say? Okay. And perhaps a little just to the back of this, just to show the shadow a bit better. And then take your finger and bring that shadow down and into the snow, okay? See, it just disappears into the snow. And that then will sit your tree down on the snow. Now we also have, let me just zoom back another little bit. We also have a little, okay, there we go. Now, tree here, don't we? We have a nice big tree coming up here. So let's use our small flat brush that I just used. Let's take lots of burnt umber. Now let's go with lots of burnt umber. Plenty of black. Lots of turpentine in this. And I might take a hint of blue as well. Now, lots of turpentine, and let's go up here and just put this tree in. Let's go boom, go right in there and go for it. Okay? It goes right up here into the sky, doesn't it? And you don't have to put this in if you don't want, okay? If you don't feel comfortable ruining all that lovely background that you spent a long time on, you don't have to. You can just leave the tree out. You don't have to put this in. I just think it's nice. It breaks up this kind of area nicely here, doesn't it? It just adds something to it. There we go. And let's just go our own way. Okay, now I've just used the reference photo just for the basic shape of the tree, but now I'm going to just go my own and do it my own way. So let's just mix plenty of turpentine in with all of this now, and let's go down. Let's make it a bit wider, I think, at the bottom. Alright, there we go. Right, I'll switch then to my smaller brush. I'll mix some black. I'll mix a little bit of crimson with the black, I think, and that will give us a nice dark, reddy kind of a brown as well. So let's just go in now and give this some little branches and that type of thing. Okay, and it needs to be nice and thin, because that's the only way it's going to kind of move nicely across the canvas. If you make it too thick, it's just not going to go across nicely, and you won't get some nice sharp edges and points with your brush. So do add plenty of turpentine. Don't be shy with the turpentine, okay? There we go. Oh, I picked up a little bit of white by mistake. That's okay. Let's go up here now and let's add lots. It's a very full kind of a tree, isn't it? There's lots of branches all over the place. So you can take your time with this. There we go. Just painting away, nice and happily. Now, you may have noticed as well on my Facebook page that you might not be able to get onto my Facebook page. That's because I've decided just to take a little break from my Facebook just for a little while. It's just because I have so much going on at the moment with this surgery thing, and I'm just not well in myself. So I've just kind of decided to take a small little break from my Facebook, just because I get so many notifications every day, and you know, I think it's not fair on my followers and people who are on Facebook following me and asking me questions. It's not fair on those people if I can't reply, because I just get so many of them every day, and I don't want to be rude and not answer. So I think it's probably best if I just turn off my page just for a couple of, maybe just 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that, just until I'm well enough in myself to switch it on and go back into it again full time and give you my full attention, because I'm just not feeling myself, I'll be honest. I'm just very unwell at the moment, very tired, very kind of sicky from taking so many antibiotics, and you know, I just don't think it's fair on you if I can't answer your questions. So I hope you understand. That's why my Facebook page is not working at the moment. If you're trying to get on and post pictures and ask questions and all that kind of thing, you know, I do really apologise, but I really need to focus on getting myself back up to 100% before I go on back on my page and go full into it, you know what I mean? I know you understand. And also I want to focus on tutorials as well, trying to get these nice tutorials finished. So look, it'll be fine. It's all fun at the end of the day. Look, we'll be grand. We'll get there, won't we? Now, I want to bring in another couple of branches over on this side. So look, with plenty of turpentine, bring in a hint of a couple of branches as well over here, just popping into the picture. Let's get some nice watery black paint. And just bring a few of those in. you can come up here on this side and we can add some foliage and stuff like that as well to these if we wish. Okay, I don't know if you can see that now, but I'm just adding a little bit of branches and foliage coming in from the top there, okay? Nothing too fussy, not to worry. Let's put a couple of little bits and pieces along over there just to kind of refine that ditch. And then I'm going to put a nice shadow on this little one. So coming down, let's bring a nice shadow off of that right across. Because don't forget, anything that's big and chunky like this will cast a nice shadow across the snow, okay? Just like that. Soften it off then. There we go. That's absolutely fine. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my palette knife. Well, actually, I was going to create some snow on this, but I think, let me see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix a nice colour, a light mauve kind of a colour, okay, first, like that. Then I'm going to take my knife, pick up some of that mauve colour, and go on the side of this tree and create some light. Just here and there on that, yeah? And pull it around with your palette knife like that. Now you can even take your fan brush if you like, and just pull that in a slight curve around like that, okay? And that will give you the impression of that tree trunk turning around, you see? Now, let me just take some of that there and add it to around here. Okay. Just to kind of soften it in, and I'll take some of that colour as well. It's a lovely colour actually, and I'll add it to some of the branches. Look, so just we have some snow resting on some of those branches just here and there. Look, isn't that wonderful? So I'm now using a kind of a very light blue kind of a colour, okay? And perhaps even a couple along here, like so. And we could even add some over here onto these trees, here and there, perhaps even some on this. So now we're helping the composition by adding some of this colour just here and there, okay? Rightio, we're looking good. We are looking good. I'll take a little hint of white, just here and there on this tree, like so. And what I might do is take a fan brush, a nice soft fan brush, and I'm going to add some nice snow onto this, I think. I think it might be nice. So let me take a hint of turpentine on my fan brush, and this kind of whitey bluey colour I think should do the trick quite nicely. Let's just add a hint of snow here and there on that, okay? And that'll just help break up that tree trunk as well. Look, so why not? Come on, let's just go for it. I know it's not on the photograph, but look, I think it would add some nice brightness to the painting. There we are, a little bit up here in this corner, a little bit coming into the painting just here on this side. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? And you can always add more branches then and stuff like that onto this tree when you're finished later. Just take your time and add lots more branches, add some shadows to some of the branches. Again, I keep saying it, but I'm just trying to keep this nice and simple. Okay, nice and simple and straightforward for you. Right, I'm going to start doing the fence posts here. So I'm just going to take some burnt umber to start. I'll try with some burnt umber first. So let's go here now with this first one. And let's make them nice and thick and chunky, okay? So we have one there. We have another one here. Now, bit of black perhaps, with the burnt umber. Because remember, we're painting wet onto wet, so it's going to mix with that white underneath, isn't it? Just be aware of that. And let's put another one. 3 is always a good number, isn't it? And that's coming out of the painting. Alright, now, moving on to our smaller brush. Let's take some black. Let's go over the dark side of that with some black. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to add some nice light blue to the top of this. Like so. And I'll add a little bit coming down on the right hand side. Just tiny little flicks with the brush coming down. Nice and thick now, you see? Nice and thick. There we go. It's lovely, isn't it? And it's so simple. And I'm going to take a little bit of just white on its own and go around the edge with some of this nice white thick paint. Just letting the thick paint settle on the painting, okay? There. Now that's not bad, is it? Then we have some pieces of timber going in between, don't we? So let's get those in. A little bit of black, a little bit of brown. And go across like this. Okay, that's one. And we have another one, and the angle will change ever so slightly, okay, as it comes forward, you see? Just like that. And that gives you a nice little bit of perspective in the painting as well. And let's follow this line and go across here with this one. And getting slightly thicker as it comes towards you, yes? And this one here, like so. Now I'm going to just finish off the backs of these ones here to cover that little line that I made. Alright, and then clean your brush again. I'm going to go back into this whitey blue kind of colour I had and put some of that across the top of these, giving it a little wiggle as you go. Okay, it doesn't have to be completely straight, you see, because it's out in nature. It's going to be kind of higgledy-piggledy and not completely perfect. There we are. Now the next thing I want to do is give those some nice shadow. And I'm going to mix some of that shadow colour again. I'm going to take some phthalo blue, some crimson, a little hint of black. And let me try that now just and see how that looks. So let's go from these and pull that shadow across like that, okay? Now perhaps a bit more blue. And we have a nice thick one coming off of that. And a nice thick one coming off of that. And then let's just soften those back in with our fingers, okay? And give them a little wiggle as well. They won't be completely straight, these shadows. And I'll take a little hint of white then, and just here and there in between them, just to show that it's kind of a ridge. There we are. Okay, and it's not going to be perfectly straight either. It can go up and down a little bit, look. There. How's that? That looking good. Now I'm going to take my, let me see, I'm going to use a palette knife, but I don't want to use the pointy one. I want to use this small one here. Now I'm not even looking at the reference photo anymore, okay? I'm just going to kind of go with this myself and go my own kind of way. I'm going to take some white. I'm just going to start putting little scrapes of white here and there, just to add a little bit of texture. Alright? Just little bits, and soften them in here and there with your fingers. You see? Just to kind of brighten it a little bit, that's all. And now look, I'm still not 100% happy with this section down here. I'm just not. And you'll get like that, you kind of look at the painting and you think, no, it's just not working for me. So I'm going to just lighten it and soften it very gently together, okay? Just a little. And then I might just add 1 or 2 small shadows going across. There. Now, how are we doing for time? Okay, we're not doing too badly. We have a bit of time left. Just add a couple of little highlights. Just like so. Here and there, off in the distance. Okay. And 1 or 2 little highlights along the roadway. Now I was going to put a person into this, a person walking or something like that. I might just add a couple of darks for the foot, perhaps a couple of footprints, just here and there. And I might put a person then maybe with a splash of red. How about that? How about a splash of red? Someone wearing a splash of red walking off into the distance. How does that sound? Don't sound too bad, does it? Will we try it? I think we should. Or would red be too much? Do you think red might be too much? You tell me now what you think. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I don't know with red. Perhaps a dark red. How about a dark red? A kind of a crimsony kind of a red. How about that? Let's put a person with a crimsony red. And remember, let's just do carrots, okay? Let's just do 1 carrot. A person walking off. So we have the top half of a carrot there. Clean your brush. And then let's just go with some black. And with the bottom half of the carrot there. Okay? Now that person is too small, isn't he? He or she, I don't know which. Let's make it a bit bigger. Let's get some more crimson. And go much bigger with the crimson on the top. Okay. Then we put little black spot for the head. Alright. And then we're going to hit that then with some light. Just on one side. A little bit of crimson, a little bit of Naples yellow coming down. And then we need a shadow, don't we? So let's get a shadow. Take a bit of blue and a little bit of black and a little bit of crimson. And put a nice dark shadow off of this figure walking off into the distance. Now that needs another little bit of darkness there, just a bit, just at the very base, look. So it sits on the ground then. There we go, that's better now. Okay, now how was that? Isn't that wonderful? And then we have a couple of birds. We need to stick a couple of birds around this now as well, don't we? And look, this is not finished. You can continue on with this. You can continue on with this as you see fit. I may continue on with this and do another little bit. But I think for a tutorial it's turned out quite nice, hasn't it? And you know, I will kind of go along then and add, say, even with some thin white paint, add some nice little branches with some white foliage here and there coming in, some painting, and you could even add some little flicks of little bits of grasses popping up here and there. You see, just like that, little tiny flicks of grasses. Because even though it is winter, you still will have little touches of grasses and reeds like that popping up here and there, you see? Especially along by the fences. Let's put one or two over here. Just like that. Okay? So that's it. Let me zoom in and we'll show you what we have created. Now, isn't that lovely? A nice, simple snow scene, but very eye-catching. And I will add a lot more branches now to the left-hand tree there. You see that? It does look a little bit sparse, doesn't it? So I will add a lot more to that. But on the whole, I think we have accomplished a very nice painting, haven't we? There we go. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so yellow, aren't I? These lights have to be changed. They really do. Very, very yellow. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you again next week with another oil painting. You see all this tissue stuck in my ear. It's very, very painful. I will be back on my Facebook page in another week or so. Maybe less, okay? I might miss you all. Let's see how it goes, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this. Let me know what you think. Do subscribe. New tutorials every week. And thank you again to all my patrons for your fantastic support. If you want to support me, go to Patreon. There's some really lovely tutorials on Patreon as well. Extra ones just for patrons, okay? For a very small support. So thank you so much. I will see you again next week. God bless you all. Thank you, my friends, for tuning in. I will see you again. Bye bye.